Oh god, no. Damn, this director's worse than Michael Bay and Rob Zombie put together, which is pretty bad. Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 worst Tyler Perry movies, in my opinion. Let's talk about Tyler Perry for a second. He's not a good filmmaker, he's not a good director. Yes, I know he has a huge fan base because why else would he be so famous? Because he makes absolutely crap. Like, his movies are absolutely awful. As you saw years ago when I did my top 10 worst directors of all time, he's like in the top 3. He is a awful filmmaker. I don't like a single movie he has directed. He just has no idea what the hell he's doing. He makes almost the same crap, the same kind of shtick that he does every film. Every film's the same. It always has like this, female empowerment and stuff. It's always about abuse or drugs and stuff and how men are awful and everything. Like, all his movies are very, very much the same and stuff, and just I can't stand his movies. Like, I'm not judging Tyler Perry as an actor, though. When he's not writing or directing the film and he just acts in the film, he can be good. Like, watch Gone Girl. He's fantastic in that movie. He is so good. Just goes to show you, he can be a good actor. Alex Cross he's awful in that film, but Gone Girl, he's really good in Gone Girl. Also, even in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows. That's not a good movie, but he's having a lot of fun with that film. And even in the Star Trek movie, to the 2009 J.J. Abrams Star Trek film, he's barely in it, but the scenes he's in, he's good. So I think Tyler Perry can be a very good actor. He's just an awful filmmaker. He's one of the worst filmmakers I have ever seen, and I'm here to celebrate those awful films by giving my top 10 personal, favorite, like I have a fucking favorite, top 10 least favorite or worst Tyler Perry movies. Yeah, I'm not gonna do dishonorable mentions because I know he has a big fan base and I don't want to piss people off too much. I'm already gonna anger people already just by the title alone, worst Tyler Perry movies, but you know what? I don't like the guy, and I'm here to celebrate my dislike for his movies by giving my top 10 worst Tyler Perry movies. Alright, let's get to it. Coming in at number 10 is Madea's Witness Protection. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. I just watched this a few days ago because I haven't seen all of Tyler Perry's movies. I've seen quite a few throughout my lifetime, unfortunately. Yeah, I had to watch a bunch of them in the past few days. A bunch of awful Tyler Perry movies, so you could imagine how, like, what my mood is like right now and how depressed I am because his movies are fucking terrible. Anyways, Madea's Witness Protection is about this Wall Street guy played by Eugene Levy. He basically he breaks the law and shit, and he has to go into witness protection and everything, and he goes to stay with Madea and Joe and her whole family. He has to bring his family, which is Doris Roberts, Denise Richards, and everything, and yeah, it's like these two families, different families together and stuff. It's not funny, it's not interesting, it's not very creative. Eugene Levy's in the film, he's the only, like, sheer talent in this film, and he's not even funny because it's Tyler Perry. It's written and directed by Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry wouldn't know comedy if it hit him in the fucking face. This is just an awful film with no good chemistry between anyone, no good jokes, no good storytelling. It's just an awful film, and it was just utterly painful to sit through. Coming number 9 is Temptation. Temptation, this almost got a few chuckles out of me because how awful this movie is. This is a terrible film. This is another one of those, like, obsessed story kind of films, like, no good deed and everything, like, those, those creepy obsessed stories, Unforgettable and shit like that. Yeah, this is the Tyler Perry version of an obsessed story, a very stalker story and everything. And it has Kim Kardashian in it. Did I mention that? Kim Kardashian. Apparently she's an actress. This is a terrible movie. This lacks in any mystery or suspense or thrills. There's no good performances, no good writing. It's sappy, it's melodramatic. And yeah, Tyler Perry's all about the melodrama, and he tries to put melodrama in a thriller. Yes, Tyler Perry tried to do a thriller. He failed. Coming number 8 is Madea's Big Happy Family. Yes, Madea's Big Happy Family. Yes, a family reunion Madea movie. You know all those characters that you know from all those movies? No, you don't know them? Oh, then why bother watching it? Yes, this is just another family melodramatic film with comedy. Comedy, yes, because Tyler Perry knows comedy. Another just awful film with bad acting, a lot of these very stock characters with really bad acting and stuff. And again, there's some talent in this film, but when you're in a Tyler Perry movie, your talent completely goes away. This is just another generic, very forgettable Tyler Perry movie that lacks any drama, suspense, or comedy, or any good messages and stuff. Just another awful Tyler Perry film. Coming number 7 is Good Deeds. Yes, Tyler Perry's Good Deeds. This has himself in it. Tyler Perry. Wow, he is really, full of himself. He, in this movie, plays the character who's, the most likable dude. He is, the king of women and everything. Well, I would say king of women. Basically, it's a love triangle sort of film with him and, Thandie Newton and Gabrielle Union and stuff. And Tyler Perry's the most likable guy ever, because Tyler Perry... Think about Tyler Perry, he never actually plays any of the unlikable characters in his own films. In all of Tyler Perry's films, he's either Madea or Joe or whatever the other characters he is. He's always the likable one in all his films, which I don't like. Try to be a dick in one of your movies. Why don't you actually try to show some fucking range or something? Or why don't you always be the distasteful character who beats the women and stuff? He always gets these other actors who play women beaters or drug users and stuff, and he's always the nice one in all his films and stuff, and I don't like that. He shows that he has no range, and he always wants to be the likable one in his films, and yeah, selfish Tyler Perry. And in this film, he is sort of almost kind of a love triangle thing going with his fiance and this other girl and stuff, and it's not interesting. Tyler Perry in this movie is just awful. He's a terrible, he gives an awful performance in this film. His direction is sloppy. Thandie Newton and Gabrielle Union both can be pretty good in some films if they're, have the right material. They're both awful in this film. They have no chemistry with Tyler Perry at all. The story isn't interesting. There's no good comedy or drama or romance. It's just another awful Tyler Perry film. Coming number 6 is The Single Moms Club. Yes, The Single Moms Club has Amy Smart. I remember that. I saw this movie years ago. It is very forgettable, this film. Very generic, very unfunny. Again, another women empowerment film. I'm all for women empowerment. I grew up in a household full of women. I'm a feminist. I am all for it. And I like it in movies if it's done right. If it is done properly with respect. And Tyler Perry clearly has no idea how to do it properly. And yeah, this movie's just terrible. All these female characters who have no chemistry with each other. They have no charm about them. They have no likability about them. They don't talk about anything interesting. And a lot of them have problem husbands and stuff. And I don't know why Tyler Perry hates men so much, but I get it. There's a lot of bad men out there, but Jesus Christ. When you watch some of his films, you're my God, he must hate guys a lot. Because a lot of them, some movies, there's a few movies that there's a lot of likable guys, but there's a lot of movies where all these dudes are drug addicts and women beaters and stuff. He goes all out with some of them, and this one is no exception. Has a lot of distasteful, unlikable men and stuff. It's all about the women and everything, and which is fine if the women were interesting and portrayed by good actresses. And it's not in this movie. Just again, it's terrible comedy, terrible drama. Just nothing about this movie is good or intriguing. Just it's a painful watch again, just like all his other films. Coming number 5 is Madea Goes to Jail. Madea Goes to Jail was so stupid, and just this movie tries to be a flat-out straight comedy about Madea going to prison and everything, and meets this other girl, the girl from the Cosby Show and stuff, actually. And again, she was a girl who was a prostitute, got beat by men, she's in prison with Madea and stuff, and it's a stupid movie. This is a really, really fucking dumb movie. It mostly takes place in the prison stuff where Madea meets all these people and stuff. Medea's got the cornrows. She's a badass person in prison and stuff. She insults everybody. She has these awful one-liners and stuff. And oh my God, the jokes in this movie were awful. Just painful. This movie tries to be straight comedy, and it is so stupid, so ridiculous, and again, a prison comedy can work if it's stir-crazy. The movie's stir-crazy, and this movie's no stir-crazy. This will drive you stir-crazy because how stupid it is, but this is not a good film. This was the one that tried to be a little more lighthearted, tried to be more comedic, and it failed horribly. Coming number 4 is Meet the Browns. Meet the Browns, the reason I know there's a show and stuff, I've never watched the show. Heard it's awful anyways. I heard everything he does is awful. And Meet the Browns is not a good movie. I can't stand these characters. These Browns, the Browns, it's about this family, this poor family. If she finds out that she had like a lost father and stuff, and she meets this family called the Browns and stuff, and she's left a house and everything, and the Browns, the characters, the family, they're so annoying. They're either really boring, or really unfunny, or just flat out unlikable. And again, the jokes, they just fall flat in this movie. And again, it's about this girl, this struggling mother with her kids, and when her son wants to be like a drug dealer and stuff, he's like a basketball player, and it ends in the most predictable. This movie's so predictable. This is the most safest film he could do, and just, that's what made it so boring. This movie is so freaking boring. The love interest is so boring. The characters are so stereotypical and cliched. It is so boring. You can tell when a joke is about to happen and stuff, and all the jokes have been used in other films. They're the most cliched and overused jokes. Just everything about this movie is so safe and cliched and predictable and just so boring to watch. I couldn't stand this film, and it's hands down one of the worst things he has done. Coming number 3 is Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Yes, I think this is his first, or one of his first films, and he started right off the bat with an awful, awful film. Again, this has all the Tyler Perryisms. This has everything. It has Madea being really unfunny. It has the girl and stuff. She was beaten by her husband. She's taken revenge and stuff. And she finds a nicer guy, a very boring, very one-dimensional nice guy and stuff. And then the dick husband is an asshole. He's got no personality. He's just a woman beater and stuff. And oh my god, it's like every fucking Tyler Perry movie. It's not funny. It's not deep. It's not moving. It's not dramatic. It's nothing. This movie is just so fucking stupid. It's so awful. It's so painful to sit through. Just, watching a movie that has every Tyler Perry cliche is just unbearable. Just unbearable, and that's why I absolutely could not stand this film. Coming number 2 is For Colored Girls. For Colored Girls, this almost made number 1. This really, really annoyed me. This movie utterly pissed me off. Like, oh my god. This is actually like one of the only, I think this is the only R-rated Tyler Perry movie that he directed. I think this is like his only R-rated film. And that intrigued me. I saw this movie when it first came out, and I'm like, oh my god, Tyler Perry's doing an R-rated film? Well, maybe he's gonna do something different. No, he doesn't. He actually tries to be so much darker in this film. This movie is all about women and stuff and how they're all beaten or treated awfully by men. And he goes so over the top with it, it's almost disgusting to watch. I feel like some people are like, oh, that's the point and stuff. No. People don't understand. If it's done properly, it's appropriate. But the way Tyler Perry does it in this film, it's not appropriate at all. This whole movie is very distasteful, very unlikable, very ugly, very awful. Just not a pleasant film to watch. And some of these characters, like, why they're psychotic and idiotic and crazy makes no sense. One character you kind of get, like this Michael Ealy's character, he got back from the war, so he's crazy, and spoilers, he throws his children out the window. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is happening? And then there's this one guy who, like, rapes this girl. No reason. He's just crazy. He just does it. There's one guy who treats this girl like she's a piece of shit. He treats her so bad, and why? I don't know. There's one guy who beats his wife. Why? I don't know. Just because the script says so. Like, this movie is just made just to show you how these girls are going through troubled things and stuff, and they don't make these women characters compelling or interesting or fleshed out or well written, and they're portrayed by a lot of good actresses. Janet Jackson's not a good actress. She's a very good singer, but not a good actress. And there's, like, again, Fanny Newton's in it, Whoopi Goldberg is in it and stuff, and she's a very good actress, Whoopi Goldberg, if she's in the right film. And she's just underused in this film. And again, the mother from the Cosby shows in this, and she's a very talented actress, but again, she doesn't have the right material and stuff. And there's a few other, like, Tyler Perry actresses in this film, and again, they're awful. A movie like this could have worked if it was in the hands of a different director and a talented writer. But this movie was just a very ugly, very unnecessary film. Just everything about this movie is just unwatchable. Like, the performances aren't good. It's a very unlikable film, and for no reason. It tries to have these strong, independent characters, these female characters, but they're not compelling or interesting, and they're not relatable and stuff, and like they're not interesting. And again, they're not fleshed out, they're not well written, and they're not well acted by these actresses. So how is anyone supposed to get on board with this film? I don't know how anyone would get on board with this film. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not a good film, and it's hands down one of the worst films he has ever made. And if these two other films that made my number one, if they did not come out, this would be the worst film he's ever made. But as it turns out, it's not number one. So yeah, let's get to number one. And my number one worst Tyler Perry movie, in my opinion, is a tie. Yes, it is a tie between two films. And those two films are Tyler Perry's Boo and Boo 2 and Madea Halloween. Yes. These are both sequels and stuff. They both came out, they both came out sort of one by one, year by year and stuff. Yes, the Boo came out last year, and Boo 2 just came out a few weeks ago, and I just watched Boo 2 literally yesterday so I could prepare for this top 10 list, and these two movies are the reason, I'll put this list down, these two movies are the reason why I hate Tyler Perry so much. These two films are right here. These actually try to be straight comedies, and again, I love comedy. I love comedy when it's done right. Like when I see like a Cornetto trilogy, or I see a Mel Brooks movie, or a Ghostbusters, or a Groundhog Day, or just something, or Fast Times at Ridgemont High and stuff, or a good 80s comedy. When I see good comedy, I'm just overwhelmed and overjoyed by it, and I laugh and have so much fun with it, and I watch it consistently. The one thing I hate the most is bad comedy. I despise bad comedy. I really fucking hate it. I hate bad horror films. I hate bad action films, bad dramatic films. Those are all painful. Bad animated films. Fucking Emoji Movie. I digress. But a thing that really upsets me, though, is a bad comedy. When I sit through a bad comedy, that is one of the most painful things to sit through. Especially like when someone's telling all these jokes, they're just not funny. You're so bored watching it, and you're just like pulling your hair out because you're just like, oh my god, someone do something funny. And Boo, Madea's Halloween, yes, Tyler Perry's Boo and Boo 2. These are some of the most unfunniest fucking movies I have ever watched. These are like some of the worst comedies. So this is like Adam Sandler level kind of comedy. Bad Adam Sandler level kind of comedy. This is like Jack and Jill just go with it grown-ups level fucking comedy. Madea's Boo 1 is about, Madea during the Halloween season. It's all these college kids. They play a prank on Madea, dress up as zombies and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, there's zombies in Halloween and stuff, and these girls trying to get to this party and everything, and oh my freaking god. Most of the movie takes place in this freaking room, and them talking about random nonsense that isn't funny, and Madea's back, Joe's back, they're not funny, Tyler Perry is not funny, and Boo 2 is almost even worse. The characters are back, and they're even more unfunny in the second one than they are in the first one. The story makes absolutely no sense. There's no good comedic timing, or good slapstick, or good one-liners, or good dialogue, or good conversations, good performances. These are just awful. These are awful films to watch during the Halloween season, but they're even more awful just to watch just in any day, regular life. These are some of the worst comedies I have ever sat through. And these two movies, Boo and Boo 2, are hands down the worst Tyler Perry films I have ever experienced. So yeah, even if you're a fan of Tyler Perry, don't ever watch them. They're just, outrageously unfunny, and yeah, fucking hated them. So yeah, that was my top 10 worst Tyler Perry movies in my opinion. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions of Tyler Perry? Are you a fan of him? Or do you hate him like I do? And if you hate him, what are the worst films he's directed? Give me your top 10 worst Tyler Perry movies in your opinion. But if you like Tyler Perry, give me your top 10 best Tyler Perry movies. I'm very curious. Everyone has different opinions. Comment below. Let me know. And as always, for this video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and join the dark side.